Hi, this is Sam Phillips reporting about Bogus Blight in Lakewood. What do you think about the Bogus Blight issue here in Lakewood?
Well, I think it's very ridiculous that the majority of the houses in Lakewood are blighted under the same determination, including all of City Council and the mayor, which voted for the blight. And I think that everyone in Lakewood needs to recognize that if they can do it in our neighborhood, they can do it in theirs.
Yeah, it seems like this blight issue is a national and international problem, like 60 Minutes pointed out.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that lives in that area?
Well, my parents, Lynn Ferris and Don Ferris, they own the L.D. Ferris building, which is being proposed to be taken. And through this period, we have become a very close community fighting together. And so now I know almost all the people who are affected by this area.
Yeah, it seemed like they really want that view of that Metro Parks. And people that have been living there for years are very upset about it. What do you think about that?
It's a gorgeous view, and it makes sense why the developers chose that area. I mean, the east end of Lakewood, I think, it has some open properties and also needs some redevelopment, but obviously it doesn't have the gorgeous view which the developer wanted. And I think the people on the lake need to be aware that that's why our area is being taken, and they need to stand up for their neighbors or else they could be next.
Well, thank you very much. This is Sam Phillips reporting from Lakewood on voting day about the blight issue. Today is voting day in Lakewood to decide who's blighted and who's not. These machines are waiting in the wings, ready for destruction to tear down people's homes. The machines of destruction just waiting by to see if it's going to pass or not. This is another machine that's just waiting on the border of the West End, waiting to see if the bogus blight's going to pass or not, to ready to start destruction and ripping out people out of their homes. So ladies and gentlemen, watch out for the machine, the evil machine of blight.
I mean, I've got an urban affairs degree. I mean, I know what eminent domain is for, and it's used for special cases where you have a public service facility that has to go in, say a fire station, police station, school, or whatnot, and it's really strictly defined usually. And under these circumstances, to package it for a private developer is a real stretch, real stretch. I don't know if they can justify it.
Fight bogus blight. This is the issue that's coming down November 4th here in Lakewood, Ohio. Is it going to pass or is it going to fail? We really don't know. But one must remember, you have to fight the bogus blight. And some people are for 47. What is it going to be tonight? Who's going to win? And the machines are waiting for destruction and despair here in Lakewood. Hi, this is Sam Phillips reporting from Lakewood on voting day about the bogus blight issue. Ma'am, what do you think about the bogus blight?
Well, it's very clear that the area is not blighted. It's a very lovely area. It's the area that the developer wants because of the superb location.
What do the people at the West End, do you know a lot of people that live there that's going to lose their properties?
Absolutely. Probably about half the people do not want to sell of the homeowners, and all of the apartment people want to stay there. There's probably 1,000 people that will be evicted if this goes through.
And your name is Lynn Ferris, and you're running for City Council. What is your position on this bogus blight?
Oh, we're strongly against it. We're against the West End project. We don't think it makes financial sense. We're for development that makes financial sense and that respects the rights of all Lakewood citizens.
Have you seen high turnout of voters today?
This has been an incredible turnout of voters. This has been an issue that really has galvanized the community.
Yeah, it's amazing that Dennis Kucinich hasn't came out on this issue, because on 60 Minutes, it seems like it's a national problem, and we're going to have to deal with it. Maybe the Supreme Court will have to deal with it. What do you think about that?
Well, we would really welcome Dennis's support. He's always been a supporter of the small individual fighting against the tyranny of the large government and corporate people. So we really need his support. Martin Luther King did come out in our support, and we certainly appreciate that. Martin Luther King III.
You know, on your campaign literature, there was a statement on there that really touched me about a few people that can change society. Can you make that quote again?
Yes, never doubt that a small group of committed, thoughtful individuals can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever have, and that's by Margaret Mead.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope you get elected. Seems like you're a decent person.
Thank you so much.
God bless. We're talking about blight here. What is blight? The Native Americans were blighted. Now the Lakewood people are being blighted. They'll have to sign the treaty and move east. We have a place for them on 73rd and Lorraine. Sam Phillips reporting from Lakewood. This program is brought to you by Blight Beer, proud sponsors of this program. After election, sit down and have a Blight Beer and watch the program. Brought to you by Blight Beer. Hi, this is Sam Phillips talking about Bogus Blight. This is election day, and a lot of people are out to vote. Ma'am, what do you think about Bogus Blight?
I think the definition of blight as far as the West End situation is absolutely ridiculous. 93% of Lakewood is blighted. Half the people I know, Shaker Heights, are blighted. 2 separate garage. I think if they're going to use eminent domain for private purchases, it's ridiculous, you know, and I'm against it.
Well,
West End goes.
Well, they blighted the Native Americans that once lived on this land, and now they're blighting hard-working Americans. What do you think about that?
Well, you know what I think about that, and since this is free speech, I think the white man has just totally trounced through anything and that he wanted to, and just, you know, totally abused. I mean, what gives him the right? You know, what an arrogant species.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. This is Sam Phillips reporting about Bogus Blight in Lakewood. Thank you. This is Sam Phillips reporting about Bogus Blight in Lakewood. Sir, what do you think about Bogus Blight?
I don't really know too much about it, but I know it's going to be not too good for Lakewood, I think.
What do you think about the whole mall culture and more shopping and fine dining? What do you think about that?
It's not good and it's not bad. I mean, I don't know, if they go about it the right way, it might be good, but it always ends up being bad, it seems.
Do you know anybody that lives down in the blighted area?
Yeah, I know a couple people, I'm pretty sure.
What do they think about this blight issue?
I haven't really heard too much about it from them, actually.
What does your generation think about, you know, about the whole blight situation, the war in Iraq, the economy, and all that?
It's a lot of back and forth. Mostly everybody's not too happy with the way things are going on.
Well, thank you very much. This is Sam Phillips reporting about Bogus Blight in Lakewood. We're talking about Bogus Blight here. Ma'am, what do you think about Bogus Blight here in Lakewood?
Are we talking about eminent domain? Issue 47, I say vote no. The citizens and people of Lakewood have lived in those homes for decades, and we don't want to push them out of their homes to build large condominiums and more stores. We have enough of that here in Lakewood. We're a small city, and we believe in the rights of the people who have lived here and supported the city so far.
Well, thank you very much. This is Sam Phillips talking about Bogus Blight in Lakewood. This is Sam Phillips reporting from Lakewood on Election Tuesday. Ma'am, what do you think about Bogus Blight?
I don't like it. I think it's wrong. I happen to own a house in the West End, and it's not blighted.
Yeah, I was over there earlier, and I just seen really beautiful homes and that beautiful view of the Metro Parks. Is that what's behind it? They want that view?
I would think that that's it. It's called location.
Have you ever seen anything like this Bogus Blight thing ever before in your life?
I have not seen it before, but I'm learning that it's happening all over the country, and I think it needs to stop. And if it stops here and we can cause it to stop, then that's what we're going to do.
What does your friends and families think about Bogus Blight?
We're all against it. Everybody's against it.
I was at the Candlelight Vigil last night, and it was very emotional seeing all those people marching for their homes and everything. And
there's a lot that's come from outside of the West End, which is nice, and you're getting support from all over the city. And they've come in and just volunteered. We're a grassroots organization, and we've had a lot of help from a lot of different people. And I want to thank all the Lakewood people for doing that. No matter how the vote comes out, we thank them.
Well, even if the vote goes out one way or the other, this might not be decided. It might be decided by the Supreme Court of the United States.
It could end up there, yes. Yes. There's another vote now, remember, in March on the blight study itself. So we have to go through that one, and then the lawsuit comes in June, and we'll see how that one goes.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. This is Sam Phillips reporting in Lakewood about Bogus Blight. Hi, this is Elvis, and I sick. and I rattle. And sometimes I don't like bogus things, like I used to buy bogus pills. And I got bogus RCA contracts, and the colonel bogus me. But I heard about Bogus Blight and Blight above bogus, and I'll tell you, it makes Elvis mad. And I just want to tell everybody to vote no on 47, because the king doesn't like blight, especially bogus blight. You know, one time I bought some pills, and it was all bogus, and it made Elvis mad. And I shaked and I rattled, and I shook the world of rock and roll. This is Elvis, reporting for Progressive Brew TV in Lakewood. This is Sam Phillips reporting for Progressive Brew TV. This is election night, and the votes are being counted. And I'm in the heart of the blight zone. All this is going to be tore down for private development and greed. People are waiting around to have a victory celebration if it happens. Right over there in that building. And hopefully it'll be a night where the people can keep their homes and their dignity and without being labeled blighted. This is Sam Phillips from the anti-blight headquarters, election night, waiting for the results of the election. It's getting real close. Who knows? But one thing, this matter is not over. This is Sam Phillips reporting from Blight, against the Blight, against Bogus Blight headquarters. Fight Bogus Blight before it blights you.
Oh, we're going to march. We've lost the battle, but we haven't lost the war.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I see. Now let me talk. Tell me.
Lose tonight. It's bad, but it's not that bad because we may have lost a battle, but we haven't lost the war.
Yeah. And it will be war.
Yes, it will be war. There's more. There's a court trial. There is issue 49, which will be in March. So we have other options, but we hope to win tonight. We feel confident.
Great, thanks. Well, let's see. The last I have is 23% reporting, and you guys are up 54%. Are you getting the same figure? Well, she's losing here.
Shane's losing?
Yeah. At 23% reporting, Kane's at 45%, George is at 55%.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And what's your take?
Well, I'm very optimistic. People have come forward to tell them they do not want this project, but even more important is that we need to stop the eminent domain abuse. Whether the project would go through or not go through, the abuse has got to stop. And the alienation towards us has been not by most normal, average, everyday Americans, because they understood how wrong this was, but it's been really frightening when the city government has really done its best to try and alienate us. They didn't know we were that ornery and would fight back the way we have, but we tried to tell them we were that way, so they should be careful. But you know, it's just unfortunate because it happens to people all over the country, and we do not want it happening again to someone else. So we're going on, and we're going to stop this throughout the country.
You're ornery, are you?
We are ornery. We are a feisty, ornery group, and we're not giving in. And they thought they would intimidate us, and they have discovered we don't intimidate.